Someone older than you is sitting alone right now, staring at a wall or a window, thinking a thought they will never say out loud. I wish I had understood this sooner. Not, I wish I had more money. Not, I wish I had more followers. But I wish I had understood how my own mind works before life taught me the hard way. The Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, and others were obsessed with this exact problem. They watched thousands of people reach the end of their lives full of regret about things that could have been learned earlier. They saw the same mistakes repeat across generations and asked, what if we could put the hardest lessons into words before life has to carve them into us through suffering? That is what Stoic philosophy really is. Not quotes for social media, but hard-won truths people usually discover only after being broken a few times. Today, you're going to hear 10 of those truths, 10 Stoic secrets most people learn too late. If you absorb them now, you don't avoid struggle, but you avoid a lot of unnecessary struggle. Let's begin.
Secret 1. Your mind is your only real territory. Most people spend their entire life trying to control everything except the one thing that belongs to them. They try to control how others see them, how people behave, how fast they succeed, whether they're liked, praised, chosen, but they never seriously try to control how they think, what they focus on, what meaning they give to events. Epictetus said, "You are not your body and your possessions, but your choice and your will." He meant that the only territory you truly rule is the inner space between stimulus and response. Everything else is rented. Most people learn this when life takes something, a job, a partner, their health, their status. They feel erased because they built their entire identity on things that were never permanent. The Stoic secret is to start now. Invest more effort into shaping your thoughts than into shaping your image. Your mind is the only kingdom you don't have to give back.
Secret 2. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is often optional. Pain visits everyone. Someone leaves, something fails, a body hurts, a door closes. Suffering is what happens after the event is over. It's the replaying, the reopening, the what if and why me that plays on loop for months or years. The Stoics noticed that most human misery doesn't come from the first impact. It comes from the mind's refusal to stop hitting play. Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Reality hurts once. Imagination hurts every time you revisit it. The secret most learn too late is this. You cannot always stop pain, but you can refuse to turn it into an identity. You can decide, this happened to me, instead of, this is who I am now. The event is real. The life sentence is optional.
Secret 3. Expectations are the silent architect of misery. Behind almost every unfair feeling is a broken expectation. They should have stayed. This should have worked. People should understand me. I shouldn't have to struggle this much. The Stoics divided the world into what is and what we wish it were. The gap between those two is where frustration lives. Life will not follow your script because it never saw your script. Marcus Aurelius trained himself each morning. Today, I will meet interference, ingratitude, arrogance, betrayal. Not to be negative, but to be prepared. Secret. If you reduce what you expect and increase what you accept, you don't become passive, you become unbreakable. Because disappointment requires expectation to stand on. Secret 4. Approval is a drug that weakens you. When you were young, you think approval is harmless. A like, a compliment, a promotion, a kind message, it all feels good. But slowly, something dangerous happens. You begin to depend on it. You post, then refresh. You help, then wait to be noticed. You speak, then scan the room for reactions. The Stoics saw that the more you base your worth on external applause, the more power you surrender. You give strangers, bosses, and algorithms the keys to your emotional state. Epictetus warned, if you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Why? Because growth requires you to stop living as a performance. Most people learn this after losing reputation, status, or someone's approval, and realizing they have no idea who they are without it. The secret is to reverse it early. Use approval as information, not oxygen. Let your behavior be measured against your own standard of character, not the crowd's applause. Secret 5. Being nice is not the same as being good. Countless people ruin their lives being nice. They never say no. They take the blame they didn't earn. They tolerate disrespect to keep the peace. They confuse self-erasure with kindness. The world quietly teaches them a brutal truth. People do not respect what they can always get away with. The Stoics never equated virtue with weakness. Marcus Aurelius was gentle, but he also commanded armies. Seneca spoke of compassion, but also of cutting off harmful relationships. Epictetus was kind, but refused to give his inner assent to anyone's cruelty. Secret: a truly good person has boundaries. Kindness without boundaries is not goodness, it's fear in a friendly costume. Learn that before people teach it to you by walking all over you. Secret 6. Most arguments are ego fighting ego. Look back at your last heated argument. How much of it was about truth and how much of it was about winning? The Stoics saw that a massive amount of human conflict comes not from love of truth, but from love of being right. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, taught that the wise person enters a conversation hoping to learn, not to win. Most people only discover this after years of burnt bridges, broken families, and friendships lost over words that didn't need to be said. The Stoic secret is simple and hard. Ask yourself in the middle of conflict, am I defending truth here or my image? If they're 10% right, can I see it? The ego will scream no. Wisdom answers maybe. The moment you love truth more than being right, arguments stop controlling you. Secret 7. Time is your only non-renewable wealth. People say time is money, but the Stoics would have laughed at that. You can lose money and get it back. You can lose status and rebuild it. You can lose followers and grow new ones. But every minute you waste on regret, gossip, petty drama, empty distraction, that time is gone. Seneca wrote, people are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to wasting time, they are most wasteful. Most people learn this too late, on hospital beds, in quiet rooms after retirement, in the silence after a loss, when suddenly they see how small their allotment really was. Secret: guard your time like treasure. Say no to more things. Stop trading hours of your life for seconds of cheap entertainment and strangers' opinions. Your life is your time. Spend it on what will matter at the end. Secret 8. Life is a constant test of what you've actually practiced. We all like to believe we are patient, brave, disciplined, forgiving, until reality checks the receipt. You say you're patient until the delay stretches to hours. You say you're disciplined until comfort invites you again and again. You say you're forgiving until someone wounds you in the exact same way as last time. The Stoics knew that life will test every virtue you claim. Most people learn this only after they've built an identity on untested traits, then watch it crumble the first time pressure arrives. The secret is this:
Don't admire virtues. Train them. You do not become calm by liking calm quotes. You become calm by practicing staying with discomfort instead of reacting. You do not become disciplined by wanting improvement. You become disciplined by doing what you said you do when it's no longer exciting. Life will keep asking, are you actually this person, or do you just like how it sounds? Train now so the answer is real when the test comes.
Secret 9. Your attention shapes your world. Whatever you stare at, you become. If you give your attention to outrage, you become constantly outraged. If you give it to comparison, you feel chronically behind. If you give it to gratitude and effort, you become grounded and driven. Marcus Aurelius knew this deeply. He reminded himself to dwell on the beauty of life, not as escapism, but as counterweight to the mind's tendency to fixate on the negative. Our modern world is designed to steal attention. Endless feeds, endless news, endless notifications. If you do not direct your mind, 1,000 companies will do it for you. Most people learn this after years lost to scrolling, after they realize they can't focus long enough to read a page or sit through their own thoughts. Secret? Treat your attention like a lens. Whatever you focus on grows larger in your experience. Turn it toward what makes you wiser, not just more stimulated. Secret 10. The world won't get easier, but you can get stronger. People secretly hope that one day life will calm down. No more crises, no more difficult people, no more uncertainty. The Stoics never promised that. They didn't say, one day it'll all be smooth. They said, one day you can be so steady that the roughness no longer owns you. The harsh truth most people learn too late is that the world never signs a contract to become softer for you. Chaos, loss, unfairness, and change are permanent features of the human experience. But here is the liberating side. You do not have to be the same fragile person meeting them forever. You can become less shocked by setbacks, less addicted to approval, less controlled by fear, less enslaved to anger, less dependent on life going your way, and more focused on what you can control, more accepting of what you can't, more consistent in your values, more peaceful in your own mind. That is the Stoic path. One day, your life will narrow to a handful of memories and a few unchangeable facts. On that day, none of this will feel theoretical. You will know exactly which expectations broke you, which dependencies ruled you, which distractions stole your years, which virtues you practiced, and which you only admired from a distance. The 10 Stoic secrets you've just heard are not trivia. They are the patterns that make up a human life. Your mind is your only real territory. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is often optional. Expectations quietly design your misery. Approval is a drug that weakens you. Being nice is not the same as being good. Most arguments are ego versus ego. Time is your only non-renewable wealth. Life will test what you've actually trained. Your attention shapes your reality. The world won't get easier, but you can get stronger. Most people learn these too late, if at all. You don't have to. Take one of them, just one, and live it today. Protect your time. Set one boundary. Pause before one reaction. Question one expectation. Do one hard thing you've been avoiding. That is how philosophy stops being something you watch and starts becoming something you are. If this spoke to you, commit this line to yourself. I refuse to wait until the end of my life to live it wisely. Then, start behaving like someone who means it.